Luka Doncic back on February 2nd. Second straight year Sacramento has been in the play-in tournament. They beat the Warriors last year in the 9-10 game and then lost to New Orleans in the 8-9 game. First appearance in the play-in for Dallas, and a good start with Lively getting the basket on the feed from Thompson.
That is great execution. That's what they wanted to get right away. Klay Thompson off the downskin, read the curl, and a perfect delivery to Lively.
Lively missed 34 games with an ankle injury. A three-pointer from Keegan Murray, who hit 8 threes in that win against the Warriors in the play-in last year. Here's Davis, his first touch. Now Sabonis has him on the switch. And Davis looking to drive, the angle cut off. Davis underneath to the corner. Pass inside, broken up by Murray, and a turnover by the Mavs. Sabonis in transition with a kick. Underneath pass to Murray. And good play by Davis to come over and get the swat.
Yeah, Keegan Murray found himself under the rim, but he found himself surrounded by 14 feet of center. One behind, one in front. Anthony Davis makes a great play at the rim.
P.J. Washington to the cup. Washington, another player for Dallas that has dealt with injury. Missed 25 games during the regular season, but a big factor in their finals run a year ago. Here's DeMar DeRozan, plenty of playoff experience, but first time with the Kings. Spent the last 3 years in Chicago, and of course all those years in Toronto. Davis on 2, way off the mark. Rebound Murray.
That's his game. He loves that mid-range pull-up. You saw the space taken away by Sabonis, and then Sacramento early here pushing the pace. That's going to be a theme all night long. They want to make the bigs of Dallas change ends of the floor.
1 point Sacramento lead, 2 minutes gone by. Davis working again on Sabonis. Tough shot, but he drops for AD. Played just 9 games for the Mavs during the regular season. Suffered an injury in his first game with the Mavs back in early February. Missed the next 8 as well, so that's the company that DeRozan is in.
He's a scorer, and he's an efficient one. You think about operating in mid-range tough jumpers. Most of his career and still is always around 50% from the field.
Washington the lob, and the missed dunk by Lively, but it ends up in the hands of Davis. Clean look, but it's no good. Washington inside with the slam.
That's just P.J. Washington wanting the ball more right there, surrounded by 3 different Kings, including Sabonis, but P.J. Washington able to man that one up, get another one to go.
He was so good in their conference semifinal upset of Oklahoma City, which was the 1 seed last year, is this year again. Thompson get the strip and the steal. Dallas needs a big game from Klay Thompson. Had his worst shooting game here in this building in the play-in last year. He was 0 for 10 and now 0 for 1 here. Sabonis on the drive. Underneath pass, DeRozan. Here's Ellis short on the 3. And Davis with the board.
And you see what Dallas is able to do with all of that size. They're going to collapse on the lane, give Sabonis an awful lot of traffic under there. It's imperative the Kings knock down their share of open threes.
Good pass by Washington. Marshall, corner 3 is there. Not a great three-point shooter, right around 30%, but he played very well with all those players out for Dallas this year.
Neither of these teams take or make a ton of threes. Bottom 3rd in the league in both areas, but the timely ones are the ones that are going to matter tonight.
DeRozan missed the long 2. Dallas ball up 4 minutes gone by in this play-in tournament game 9-10. Winner to play Memphis Friday. Another Marshall look from the corner. Good again, back-to-back hits from outside. That was a 2. And it's a 6-point game, 13-7 Dallas.
And you're seeing the wings of the Dallas Mavericks break down the defense, get into the paint, and then just play 2-on-1 on the weak side.
DeRozan underneath. Elbow jumper, not there for Sabonis. Sacramento 2 of 6 to start the game. Dallas 6 of 10. And they're going to call a foul.
Again, that's a big part of Keon Ellis's game. Typically, in a high-stakes game or playoff game like this, this environment, they're going to allow a little bit more of that on the perimeter, so I was surprised by that call.
Levine's first shot, it's good. A three for Zach Levine. He was second in the NBA in three-point shooting during the season. Davis, 2 baskets already in the game. Looks for a third. Not there. Sabonis, who led the league in rebounding for the 3rd straight year, gets the clear. Sabonis setting a ball screen. Levine pulls up for 3 and bricked that one. Offensive rebound, Murray. Levine looking to drive. Likes this matchup against Thompson. Missed it though. Thompson got a hand up.
Great defense twice on that possession. Once PJ Washington and then Clay.
Told me they have packed Dave for 8 days. Their expectation is to win here tonight, to win in Memphis, and to play OKC in the first round.
Well, we know this about Nico Harrison. He is fearless because he traded a player that obviously Maverick fans loved and will always love in Luka Doncic, and continues to say that he has no regrets with that trade and that he feels defense wins championships. That's why we have Anthony Davis and not Luka Doncic.
Yeah, you would expect him to say that he's got no regrets, and that'll continue for a while. Ultimately, that'll be judged probably a couple years down the road when we see the success that Luka potentially has in LA, and what happens with Anthony Davis here remains to be seen.
Nico Harrison and Jason Kidd as the general manager, head coach, Brain Trust. Obviously, new ownership with Patrick Dumont. Mark Cuban not a part of decision-making basketball operations anymore. Lakers, by the way, with Doncic Saturday night take on Minnesota on ABC. Game 1 of that series. DeRozan fouled on the jumper, back to the line, and he's 2 for 2. Davis picks up the foul.
And there are stretches in the game, despite the fact that they've got roam more on the baseline, play block to block defensively, and allow his versatility, athleticism, and length to be more of a factor defensively, and not have to just be in wrestling matches with the other team's biggest guy.
We got Gafford at the table. He's going to come in at the next dead ball, another 7-footer. Here's Exum, who's back after missing a ton of time due to injury. He's barely played this year. Davis looking to drive on Sabonis. Turnaround jumper, no good. Good defense by Sabonis that time.
And 3 times now, Sabonis has played him tough when he's trying to get into that mid-range jumper.
DeRozan on the back down. Can't knock down the jumper. Knocked out of bounds by Davis. It'll stay with the group on the floor. Lyles and Carter, along with 3 other starters, Levine, Sabonis, and DeRozan.
And that's an example of what I'm talking about, because now Gafford will get the main responsibility for blocking out Sabonis, and that's a lot of work.
Lyles hits a 3, and that ties the game at 17. First shot attempt for Trey Lyles. Exum got a little space that time. Moving Devin Carpentry. He's barely played this year. Davis looking to drive on Sabonis. Turnaround jumper, no good. Good defense by Sabonis that time.
And 3 times now, Sabonis has played him tough when he's trying to get into that mid-range jumper.
DeRozan on the back down. Can't knock down the jumper. Knocked out of bounds by Davis. It'll stay with the group on the floor. Lyles and Carter, along with 3 other starters, Levine, Sabonis, and DeRozan.
And that's an example of what I'm talking about, because now Gafford will get the main responsibility for blocking out Sabonis, and that's a lot of work.
Lyles hits a 3, and that ties the game at 17. First shot attempt for Trey Lyles. Exum got a little space. DeRozan 9 points. 2 of 5 from the floor. 4 seconds. DeRozan driving. Tried to throw it underneath. And it was off to Washington. 3-quarter court. And the first quarter comes.